Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. Breaking with convention, war, peace, and the presidency. I'm Amy Goodman. It's official. Donald Trump is the Republican Party presidential nominee. House Speaker Paul Ryan announced his nomination following a roll call vote on the floor of the Republican National Convention Tuesday night.
The chair announces that Donald J. Trump, having received a majority of these votes entitled to be cast at the convention, has been selected as the Republican Party nominee for President of the United States.
That's House Speaker Paul Ryan announcing Donald Trump's official party nomination. This comes after delegates from the Never Trump movement briefly staged a revolt against Trump's nomination Monday. The rebellion threw the first day of the convention into chaos, but the effort was quashed by party leadership. Some dissenting delegates booed during Tuesday's roll call vote. The second day of the RNC was dubbed Make America Work Again. During the primetime speeches, Donald Trump Jr. spoke about his father's business record and his negotiation skills. A USA Today analysis shows Donald Trump has been involved in nearly 4,000 lawsuits over his business career. His son didn't mention these. Most of Tuesday night's speakers, however, spoke far more about former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton than about Trump's plans to create jobs. Retired brain surgeon, former presidential nominee Ben Carson used his medical expertise to criticize potential Clinton voters, saying, quote, "They're not using their God-given brain to think about what they're saying," unquote. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie also criticized Clinton.
Answer me now. Is she guilty or not guilty?
That was the audience in the RNC chanting, "Lock her up, lock her up." But Arizona Senator Jeff Flake, who's chosen not to attend the RNC, tweeted, quote, "Hillary Clinton now belongs in prison? Come on, we can make the case that she shouldn't be elected without jumping the shark," he tweeted. Meanwhile, keynote speaker Paul Ryan mentioned Trump's name only twice during his nearly 1,500-word speech. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson only mentioned Trump's name once. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson also spoke Tuesday night. Last year as governor, he followed the lead of Indiana Governor and now Trump running mate Mike Pence in supporting the controversial anti-LGBT legislation known as the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, but ended up refusing to sign it until the state legislature amended the bill. This came after his own son signed a Move On petition criticizing the legislation. We'll have more on Donald Trump's official nomination with Nation magazine journalist John Nichols after headlines. Meanwhile, controversy continues over Melania Trump's speech on Monday, in which she plagiarized multiple sections of Michelle Obama's speech at the DNC in 2008.
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values, like you work hard for what you want in life.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
That's Melania Trump in her speech Monday night at the RNC and Michelle Obama in her speech at the DNC in 2008. The Trump campaign has repeatedly denied the accusations of plagiarism.
Look, these are our values, Republican values, by the way, of hard work, determination, family values, dedication, and respect. And that's Melania Trump. And this concept that Michelle Obama invented the English language is absurd.
That was Trump spokeswoman Katrina Pearson. RNC chief strategist Sean Spicer, meanwhile, said Melania's speech used common phrases and compared lines from her speech to dialogue in the animated TV series My Little Pony.
Melania Trump said, the strength of your dreams and willingness to work for them. Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony said, this is your dream. Anything you can do in your dreams, you can do now.
That was RNC Chief Strategist Sean Spicer speaking on CNN. But journalists and experienced speechwriters widely agree Melania Trump did plagiarize parts of the speech. According to the New York Times, months before the RNC, the Trump campaign hired two speechwriters, Matthew Scully and John McConnell, to draft Melania Trump's text. But Melania Trump disregarded this draft and instead asked for help from former ballet dancer Meredith McIver. She had helped Trump with his book, Think Like a Billionaire. At a protest outside the RNC, activist Julia Johnson criticized Melania Trump for plagiarizing Michelle Obama.
Surprise, surprise, stealing from a black woman. I mean, it's ridiculous how much this country is based off of the exploitation of labor, of people of color, of oppressed people, of poor people. So I'm sure that she thought that she would get away with it and nobody would care.
Protests continue in Cleveland outside the RNC. On Tuesday, two activists scaled a 60-foot flagpole near the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and unveiled a massive flag calling on Republicans not to trump local communities. The flag also read, quote, ban fracking, stop climate injustice, and tear down the wall. In another protest Tuesday, the anti-war group Code Pink delivered 500 tennis balls to the front steps of the RNC, protesting the fact you can bring semi-automatic rifles but not tennis balls around the event area. We'll have more on that protest later in the broadcast. Roger Ailes' lawyers have confirmed he's in negotiations to step down as Fox News chair and more than a half-dozen accusations of sexual harassment. Former Fox anchor Gretchen Carlson has sued Ailes. Now Fox anchor Megyn Kelly has also accused him of harassment. Many are celebrating Ailes' anticipated departure, though, as Feministing founder Jessica Valenti notes, removing one lascivious man can't turn around the mess of misogyny that is Fox News, unquote. Carlson's suit also alleges Fox News has an overall misogynistic culture. CNN is reporting that a former Marine who killed 3 Baton Rouge police officers suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder and had been prescribed multiple medications. Gavin Long was honorably discharged in 2010, had served in Iraq. CNN reports Long had filled a prescription for Ativan, an anti-anxiety drug. As recently as June, he also had prescriptions for Valium and Lunesta. And news from Britain, recently appointed Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson is refusing to apologize for insults he's leveled at various world leaders. Johnson has called Hillary Clinton, quote, a sadistic nurse in a mental hospital, unquote, and said after the Obama White House moved a bust of Winston Churchill that it was a, quote, symbol of the part Kenyan president's ancestral dislike of the British Empire, unquote. Johnson also wrote a poem about Turkish President Erdogan having sex with a goat. This is Boris Johnson speaking at a joint news conference Tuesday with Secretary of State John Kerry.
I'm afraid that there is such a rich thesaurus now of things that I've said that have been one way or another, through what alchemy I do not know, somehow misconstrued, that it would really take me too long to engage in a full global itinerary of apology to all concerned.
The Turkish government has filed a formal request demanding the U.S. extradite Turkish cleric Fethullah Gulen, whom President Recep Tayyip Erdogan accuses of masterminding Friday's failed military coup. Gulen denies this. He lives in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. This comes as Turkey continues to purge and arrest thousands of accused coup supporters, ordering more than 1,500 university deans to resign and revoking the licenses of 21,000 teachers. And former Yale University dishwasher Corey Menefee has won back a job at Yale after he was fired for smashing a stained glass window depicting enslaved Africans carrying bales of cotton. This is Corey Menefee on Democracy Now!
It was, it depicted a male and a female, both appearing to be African American, standing in a field of white crops, would appear to be cotton, with baskets over their heads, and I believe one of the figures were actually smiling, which is like so condescending, because looking back on slavery, like, it wasn't a happy time for African Americans.
Describe what you did as you looked up at the stained glass that you'd seen for a while.
Well, I just basically took a broom handle and destroyed the image.
Corey Menefee was working at the time at Yale's residential dorm, Calhoun College, named after former Vice President John C. Calhoun, one of the most prominent pro-slavery figures in American history. For years, students have demanded Yale change the building's name. On Tuesday, Corey Menefee told Democracy Now!, quote, "I am delighted to return to work." And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy